Але прохання мікрофони взяти з собою, так? Так, зараз я вас представлю, секундочку, так?
Чуєш про слідство? Тільки я кажу, добре?
Конечно.
Бо він ще не знає, що на сьогодні презентація.
Шановні колеги, ми продовжуємо.
Dear colleagues, we'll continue our working day, and the topic is presentation of an interactive long read Maidan 3 days before spring, the largest and the most detailed interactive visualization of events of 18th and 20th February. And now Roman Kulchynskyi is given the floor, editor of text.org.ua. I would like to present our work. This is the reconstruction of the events of 18th till 20th February in Maidan, and we have 1 month's delay with the presentation because this work required constant improvement. First, we wanted to show where people got fatal wounds. Then we understood that this is not enough. We decided to show how Maidan changed geographically.
Так, секунду, я тут. Бачите, тут
You see, this is a peaceful march. We wanted to show how these events happened. Those people who were not present or those people who are abroad may not know about this. And then we understood that this is not enough and we should include a video. And we have a lot of videos, and it was really difficult to choose. Especially emotionally, because it is really hard to see. And we are grateful to Babylon 13 that provided us the video. They were the best. And this is not all. We needed more details about the events, and we tried to provide a chronology and to provide a story in order that it would be interesting to read. Also, we marked the place where people died. We identified all those who were killed or wounded, and then we had infographics where these people died in these 3 days. And maybe we missed someone because different organizations provide different data, and we will be grateful if experts or readers provide more information. We will include additional information. So I didn't know about this video before. This is near Maidan, and Pavlo Solodko made a colossal effort and provided a wonderful text. It is huge, really long read, 50,000 characters, and then it increased and increased. This is a global project, and we allowed this text to grow because this is an important topic, and even more can be said about it. And now Pavlo Solodko is given the floor. So this is the data we got. Maybe it's not something new. We just decided to provide a unified picture. it is important to say that this is only a beginning. A lot of information is not clear. There are places that are not clearly identified, those places where people got fatal wounds and how people were wounded. There are several hundreds of people who were wounded, including militia. And here we included the data about the death of police officers. These are 13 people. So we speak not about the casualties among protesters, but also about police. And we do not say about January in other places. We didn't include this information. Maybe this will be done in the future. And one of the reasons of our work is to memorize this event and for the Museum of Maidan. And there is idea at those sites where people were fatally wounded to establish some memorial signs. And the Museum of Maidan does not have a lot of information about this, and there are some fantasies, I believe. That's why we should provide more detailed information. I don't know whether we will put Volodymyr Zakharov of Office of Party of Regions, and we just wanted to collect information about people who died, the official reasons of death, and where the person got this wound. And we got the data of investigation, and the investigation cooperated, and they didn't share all the information because they do not have it, or because the investigation is still ongoing. Maybe it will be ongoing for 3 or 5 years because they have to carry out many tests and they have to collect a lot of data. They lack a lot of information. Maybe not all the witnesses were heard, and this is only a beginning. We will continue. When investigation be ready to provide information, we will provide it, and we will specify and provide it in more detail. About 18th of February, the data is vague. These pensioners who died, they are mentioned in official papers. Those with broken skulls by stone or metal rod. Institutska Street, the stairs of Globus shopping mall, and where police officers were wounded. About 20th of February, there was video reconstruction by Leonis group, civil society experts. They got this video, and nearly all the deaths were recorded, and also we synchronized it with the voice from the Maidan scene, and this is combined in long video. And we do not blame anyone. We just collected information, and we plan to continue our work. And if Ambroski, for example, that he shot Bogdan Kulchynskyi, we do not. We know that he made 3 shots, and in several seconds. And from other video, we see that at this moment Bogdan is wounded. Investigation has cooperated with us, and we hope that this work will continue. Once again, we do not blame anyone, we do not pressure anyone. We just started our work that will be ongoing. Thank you for your attention. And we focused on people who were wounded in the result of forceful actions, were wounded by bullets mainly on the 20s. Um, 7.62 millimeter of caliber. This is from machine guns, and also protesters died of bullets of rifles. And do you have questions, please? So our work is valuable because we've shown where these people were wounded. I would like to give the floor to the representative of Babylon 13. We used their video and we are grateful for them for this. Volodymyr Tykhyi, I'm one of the group of Babylon 13. And for us, this is really great to cooperate with texts. I remember when they appeared, long before Maidan. They were unique in media space. Those who provided good educational texts, and we were really glad to cooperate with them. What they did is a colossal work. We continue to work with the material that was shot during Maidan, and we create different stories, and we carry out investigations, and we understand what authors of the project face, that they filter some aspects. So they provide information in a proper way, and you should take into account many stories, and they can really differ. For example, the arson of the trade unions building. So there are many different stories about what happened there and the number of people who died there. So I believe that our colleagues should continue their work to have time to create a story, the story of Maidan, the key events that happened not only during the last 3 days before the final of the opposition, but from the very start. When you see it, this visualization, you do not only think about it, you start to analyze what happened. And you find your own view on this. And speaking about Maidan events, we have traditional view of politicians. They try to use these events to their benefit, and they interpret it to their benefit. And this influences badly on the investigation, and we saw it during these 3 years. Investigators changed, and we provided materials 2 times because they lost these materials. People changed. I met with these people, and I mean investigators. Those who were included in investigation, they just are not interested. They try to rearrange the furniture in the studies. That's why I have a critical view on investigators. Due to these projects, we can feel what is going on in the country, not only concerning these events. We should dot I's in this event, and we should clearly understand what was going on. Protests and other things, these are not just speculations. This is the basis from which we start our civil society. Thank you once again.
Дякую, ще пару.
Thank you. And to finalize, as concerns the investigation, a separate long read could be written. As far as I know, they split up. Some people went to investigate economic crimes, and now only those who are enthusiastic, they remain investigating the revolutionary events. Everything which was found, all the evidences, they are being collected. It seems to me that the investigators who are working now, they are really interested in getting actual information, fair and I'd like to give some details. The sources. We took BBC, Ukrainska Pravda, and Sonia Koshkina book, the investigation. We took the facts from those reports and the book. There was also detailed report of Tiger troop, Maidan, the evidence. This is a good book. You can see it now. Olesa, medical volunteer, she was wounded, and she said the precise time in the book, and it coincides with the well-known audio report where we can hear shooting, where snipers are shooting. As concerns Department of Special Investigation and Sergei Gorbachuk, we could meet him anytime, so we met Gorbatyuk. One wounded person is my good friend, and he was questioned, and the experiment took place with him. He was invited for experiment recently. They experimented who and how and from which place made the shots. Thousands of expertises and questionings took place, and so on. Maybe I can tell you several new facts. There were no live grenades near the trade union's house. Dmitro Maximov, an athlete who lost the hand, he was wounded with the light grenade, not live grenade. Yakev from Zhytomyr region, an MP who died at Institutska Street. His body was found not at Institutska Street, but near the Central Universal shop. Not at the Institutska Street. Marcos Soprun, when we were preparing the evidence about Ustim Холодnyuk. The video material appeared 1 week before. This should have been the video, I think, of the security service of Ukraine. There was a large camera. We don't understand where the operator was. Most probably he was on the roof of Ukraine hotel, and we recorded the death of Ustim Холодnyuk. As far as we know, the video report, there were some problems with it. It was the restored file which previously was destroyed, or some other manipulations were with that file. So the guys installed video cameras before the events. Did you go to the security office to get their video materials? No, we did not approach them with such requests. At 6:00 p.m. on February 18th, people started dying from shots. Maybe you are talking about the videos shot from the National Bank of Ukraine. Those cameras were used to synchronize time. There were many video materials. Ustim Холодnyuk, as far as I remember, he was killed by the bullet from the automatic gun of 7.62 caliber, and this correlates with the movement of Berkut. Samasuk, maybe. At 9 o'clock, they went out of their bus and went to the left corner of the palace, and how they approached, we marked on the map their movement, and this correlates with the deaths of civilians, of protesters. I think that Холодnyuk was killed during their movement, but you should address the investigators. As concerns the cut out heads, the BBC journalist saw a person with some cut head. No, this person is alive, and if someone saw people without heads, such persons should go to law enforcement offices and submit relevant statements. As concerns our staffing, we didn't have enough manpower. We have a lot of current assignments, and we were not able to cover all the aspects. I would like to specify, I forgot to say, it is very important who and when started killing. We can see this on this infographic. The first wounds of the Protestants appeared at 11 o'clock, and policemen were wounded at 12 o'clock. The first policeman, 2 policemen, young men from Chernivtsi region. They died before the start of anti-terroristic operation. It was about 5:20 p.m. By that moment, about a dozen of protesters had already been killed, including the woman from Bravary and the Georgian person from Mykolaiv. They were not shot, but they died because of other reasons, while 10 people